Do you remember the day of your first professional employment? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I do too. I ironed my clothes for all 5 days the first day. I packed my lunch. I arrived early, 30 minutes to be exact. I took a notepad to every meeting. I checked my email every 30 minutes. I was excited, like genuinely enthusiastic about putting my communications degree to use. At my first employer, I was asked for my opinions to make major decisions. I was included in interdepartmental activities. I was professionally coached. I was even asked to attend high visibility events. So you know I loved it there. I excelled in that role and I was ready for a new challenge. So I transitioned to my second employer. I was onboarded so warmly, those people loved me some good. And trained very thoroughly. By about 8 months in, I was unrecognizable. And not because I was excelling, I was struggling. For the first time, I felt professionally incompetent. Have you felt like that before? Like when you're questioning, am I good enough? Do I belong here? Did I arrive too early? It's not a good feeling. I felt like I was being watched through a fishbowl lens. I felt like my behaviors and the knowledge and my excitement was not good enough. And you know how this goes. It wasn't long before I was in my manager's office when they're seated at the desk and you're seated at the chair. And in front of them, they had a folder swarmed with papers of my mistakes. Lots of errors, striped through in red pen. And in that moment, it felt like 10 minutes, a childlike chastisement consumed my body. And you know, we don't cry at work. So I fought back my tear ducts. I was professionally embarrassed. Now, in the moment while that was happening, I couldn't really put into words what I was experiencing during that time when I was at my second employer. But as I've studied communications and had a little bit of experience and life experience and had a lot of interaction, I could really verbalize what I encountered at my second employer. What I experienced was a real-life demonstration of how much our verbal and our nonverbal communication, how much it impacts workplace culture. How much of an impact it has on your personal self-esteem. How quickly it can grow you or smother your confidence. So, what at my second employer, I received emails like this. Linnita, for future reference, bolded by the way, please do not. You like emails like this? No. Okay. I walked into meetings with my manager seated like this. Okay, I'm being dramatic. They weren't seated like that. But they were seated like this. Do you want to be in that meeting? Me either. Our verbal and nonverbal communication skills, they matter. I want to do a quick exercise with you. So I want you to free your hands if you're holding something. If you have something in your lap, put it in the chair next to you. Free your hands. Okay. So you're going to use both your hands. I want you to touch your eyebrow. No crazy stuff here. I want you to touch your cheekbones. Touch your arms. Slide a hand across your finger. Touch your neck. Touch your shoulder. All right, you're all touchy now. Every part of the body that you just touch, it actively participates in how you communicate. When people say things like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I like to challenge that. What we say, it can't be divorced from how we say it. So that means your tone and your words, they can't be divorced. Your words and your posture, they cannot be divorced. The two are married. They go together real hard. So they matter. And what I love about working with organizational leaders is it's a great privilege to groom emerging talent. And if we be honest, it's a beautiful burden. because it's an extra thing that's not related to the goal. But the privilege to groom them and to model healthy communication. So today I want to share one way in which we can begin to do that. Maybe you're not yet a boss, but you're on your way. Maybe you lead a student organization. Maybe you're the boss of your house. Because bosses live there too. One way I want to share with you in which how we can begin to model healthy communication. If you want to hear, say, tell me, girl. Tell me, girl. Say it like you mean it. Tell me, girl. Okay, here it is. Relax. When you're communicating, you gotta relax. Now I'm gonna teach you how to do that. Because it'd be foolish for me to say that without teaching you. So we're gonna do another exercise. But this time I want you seated straight up in your chair, backs towards the chair. If you're holding something free, feet planted firmly on the floor. Now, if you're all uptight, usually I am too, your shoulders are at your ears, like just drop them down. Good. All right, y'all look good. So I'm going to ask you to come to a soft gaze, not closing your eyes. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, close them, but if you don't, come to a soft gaze. We're going to do a breathing exercise. I'm going to ask you to inhale through your nose 4 seconds. Then you're going to hold it for 7 seconds. You're not going to pass out, okay? And then you're going to exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. We're going to do 4 rounds of that, okay? All right, ready? Inhale 4, hold 7. When exhale through our mouth 8. Let's go. Ready? Inhale. Hold. 3, 5. Exhale. 2, 4, 5. Inhale. 1. Hold. And slow down. Exhale. Don't sound good. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Good. Last round. Inhale. Nice and big. Exhale. I'm sorry, you were supposed to be holding. Hold. Now exhale. Very good. Now open your eyes. If you were to begin speaking in the state that you're currently in, your tone would be calm. It's likely that your body is relaxed. It's likely that you don't have any facial expressions. You're in a place of neutral. It's likely that your posture is relaxed. This is the state that we should communicate when the stakes are high. When we're giving feedback, when we're disappointed, when we're angry, when we just quite don't agree, and we're not the person to keep our lips shut. This is the state in which we will communicate. You're also emotionally neutral. It's in this state that we're going to be most rational, meaning with reason. It's in this state that you're going to be most objective, meaning without any biases and your feelings are set to the side. This is going to be the most healthy state to communicate in. This is how you build trust within a team. And when you have trust, that's a safe space for people to truly be themselves when they show up in the workplace. We can't say things like, you know, we really want to create a culture where you can be yourself, if we aren't modeling a space for people to be that. And we can't say things like, you know what, your whole self is welcome here to this place, if we aren't modeling a space for them to be that. And what I love teaching to organizational leaders and executives is that what we model, we get to teach. When I think about my first employer and the experience that I had there, oh, she gave me feedback. It wasn't good all the time, at all. But she never gave it to me where I could not receive it. Her body was in a place of neutral. Her tone was neutral. Her gestures were neutral. And every time that she gave me feedback, it was in person. I never felt undervalued. I never felt misunderstood. I always felt her, and it was a safe space. And I gave her feedback too. At my second employer, that was not welcome. There was not a dialogue about the experience. I guess what I'm most passionate about is, if we spend a lot of our time at work and you are a leader, I want us to start taking ownership of how we impact people. If I could go back to my first employer, I would say, thank you for modeling what healthy communication looks like. And if I could go back to my second employer, I would say, thank you for modeling what an opportunity for growth looks like in communication. They both were great experiences. I took something away from each of them. Now I want to turn that back over to you. If you lead an organization, or if you have a high influence on someone or something, I want to challenge you that what you model, you teach. You model open dialogue. You model managing your emotions. You model not name calling. You teach that to your staff, to your children. You model that your opinion matters. There's space for you to be seen and heard. You're teaching that. And if you are a leader, the pipeline of talent that we get the privilege to groom, they will exhibit that. I attribute my healthy communication skills to my first employer, and that was over 15 odd years ago. So that's what I'm teaching, including today in my TED Talk. And as I get the privilege, I would say, to travel the country and work with organizations, I simply get to remind them that what you model, you teach. Thank you.